this. I have no words to express this, but all words express only this. This has no meaning, yet this imparts meaning to all that is perceived. This is without beginning and without end, yet all begins and ends in this. This has no name, but is called by all names. This has no form, but all form indicates this. This has no origin, yet is the origin of all things. This is without division, but all divisions exist within this. This is the longing in sadness, and the longed for in all longing. This is the expecting and the expected in all expectation. This is the restlessness of the restless and the peace of the peaceful. This is happiness itself. This cannot be contemplated, but is the object of all contemplation. This is imperceivable, yet we perceive only this. This is full, but has nothing, is empty, but contains all. This gives away everything, but is never diminished. This receives all, but never expands. This is everyone's lover, shining. This speaks, but is silent. This moves, but is motionless. This sees, but cannot be seen. This hears, but cannot be heard. This tastes, but cannot be tasted. This smells, but cannot be smelled. And this touches, but cannot be touched. Listeners is smiling. Whatever appears, appears in this, but this never appears. This is the silence in music, and the music in silence. This is concealed by the world, but it reveals the world. This is the womb and the tomb of all that exists. This offers and contains in one gesture, like an open bowl. This gives unconditionally to all things. This receives all things without choice, full, yet empty. This is the knowing in all that is known, nothing, yet everything. This is the experiencing of all that is experienced. This is the allowing of all seeming things. This is a pure sensitivity, open and available. The sun and the moon, the friendship of friends, knowing and unknown. dark in the day and bright at night, luminous. Time borrows its continuity from the eternity of this. Space borrows its permanence from the infinity of this. All colours borrow their light from the luminosity of this. All lovers borrow their affection from the love of this. All things borrow their existence from the being of this. All knowledge is a reflection of the infinite consciousness of this. This is abundant. This is eclipsed by you, but you are illuminated by this. This is yours and mine. This is the yes and the no. This is the now and the then. This is the here and the there. This is the me and the you. This is the this and the that. This is always and the never. This is. This is the uncertainty of all things, and the certainty of uncertainty. This is the security of insecurity, the true in the false, the dignity in the pride, the reality of an illusion. This is the existence of all that exists. This is an open secret. This moves, but is actually motionless, and motionless, but moves. It is a divisionless motion. This is concealed in the boredom, but is not boring. This is veiled by doubt, but is not in doubt. This lives beneath fear, but is neither afraid or frightening. This abides in this. This hides and reveals in the same moment. This hides and reveals in the same movement. This is a dance of dynamic stillness. This is immanent and transcendent. This is the bright, self-luminous emptiness of the mirror. The dancing, colourful images that appear in it. This is the light of all experience. This breaks open the body and spreads it across the world, breaking open the world and holding it dismembered in the heart of this, pregnant with the universe. This is the unknown in the known, and the known in the unknown. This is the love in hatred, and the hope in despair. This is the substance of all thinking. It can't be thought about. The reality of all feeling but cannot be felt. This is. This is the perceiving in all perception, but cannot be perceived. This cannot be approached, but is always present. This cannot be known, but knows all things. This does not exist, but it is never absent. This is nowhere and everywhere. Nothing and everything. This plays. When you love this, it is this that is loving you. This is the knowledge in ignorance, the answer in the question. This gives and receives perpetually, lending to all seeming things. This forgets to taste the sweetness of longing, divides to know the tenderness of friendship, hides for the pleasure of seeking, looks for the fulfillment of finding, finds for the knowledge of happiness, knows for the joy of being. This is this for no other reason. This is vast and bright, the heart of the heart. This is the voice of a child, the wonder, astonishment, and delight. This lives in the space between thoughts, but is a play in your thinking. The abode of this is the movement between breath, but is the dance in your breathing. Time and space move through this, but this does not move through them. This is never experienced, yet you experience only this. This never repeats, yet is always the same. This is utterly vulnerable, but cannot be harmed. This is made of nothing, but cannot be destroyed. This has no defences, but is your refuge. This has no goal, but is the fulfillment of every desire. This has no feeling, but is open to all feelings. This has no thoughts, but all thoughts are an image of this. This is longed for, but avoided. How strange. This projects the mind within myself, then projects the world within the mind, then projects the body within the world, dissolves the body back into the world, then dissolves the world back into the mind, then dissolves the mind back into this. This takes the shape of thinking and seems to become the mind. This takes the shape of sensing and seems to become a body. This takes the shape of perceiving and seems to become the world, but always remains this. This eternity appears as a continuity and time to the mind. This infinity appears as permanence in space to the senses. But this knows only the eternal, dimensionless being. Existence is the movement of this breath. This becomes something, then nothing, and then everything, but always remains this. The world is a mirror to this, and this is its lover. It is this that is revealed as peace and happiness, when names and forms are dissolved into this. Transparent, open, empty, and luminous. This is the emptiness in the fullness of experience. In the world, this is known as existence. In the this is known as consciousness. All seeming things are known by this, through this, as this. This is the original body, in which the physical body is suspended like a drop of milk in water. This is the original mind, in which the thinking mind drifts like a breeze in the air. This is the amness of no self, and the isness of all things. This is the knowingness of consciousness, the dissolution of all things in this is their meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. To know an object is not to know this. To know this is not to know an object. Objects are free, but when they are perceived as an object, they are not free. So the knowing of this is not to know an object. This is the substance and reality of all seeming objects and selves. Peaceful, like the sky. Open, like the sea. Empty, like space. Luminous, like the sun. This is